the imagination did fill in a little bit of things, so it actually worked. It actually worked out. And I mean, there's a little bit of nudity, but it's not gratuitous by any means. So I mean, it worked. It worked out really well. But yeah, that was, and I would think for any filmmaker though, starting right off the bat to do something like that is not the easiest thing in the world to just kind of throw yourself into it. But credit you for doing it. I don't know if I could have done it right away. That's for sure. But no, but this was, I think that's the thing that really just impressed me about this movie is I saw it as a kind of like a dark character study on this girl, on who just really, maybe she obviously didn't grow up right, wasn't raised right, was raised by an abusive father, and yet there's also the other element that maybe she might have also not been wired right. Another side of it is there's a scene, and I don't want to give this away because I really want people to see it, but there's a scene where she does something to Philip Ward's character, Alex. And she's there with him talking in a very calm voice, yet she's doing something, and you're watching what she's doing, and you're going, oh, my God. And I bet you if you took her pulse at that time, it was probably very calm. And that, to me, is real horror. And that's one of the things I really, really liked about the movie, was that particular scene was one of the ones that really stood out for me.
Yeah, that's a scene that gets a lot of attention, and people really like it. And she, like I said, Nitsan blew me away. I didn't even know what I was going to get. I had no idea I was going to get a performance like this out of her. She really made the character evolve, and she's just the sweetest little thing. She's a devout Jew. She is a vegetarian. Her mother does holistic healing. It's just this girl pulled it out of nowhere, and I think that proves just how talented she is as an actress. And that scene is definitely haunting. I hope it goes down in history.
Yeah, I think it's one to remember. And I mean, credit you for the special effects and how you did them. I mean, it was you can tell that you didn't have a huge budget, but that didn't matter because it was a good story, and people will go along with a good story no matter what the budget is. There's a lot of big budget movies that have a lousy story, and you lose your interest. And I never lost interest in this. I mean, it shows that you have some ability and talent in directing and writing movies. So you were able to tell a narrative, and yet you used a really good style, and you were able to really frame the performances and the special effects really well, where the special effects weren't the star of the movie. I mean, there's always that resistance, or I mean, it was because of budget in your case, but there's a lot of directors that just want to just splash as much blood around as they can, or make it more horrific. And you never did that. It wasn't violence for violence sake. There's a reason why she does what she does, and I really like that about this film.
Thank you. I like Herschel Gordon Lewis. I think what he did for the time was amazing, but I have no desire to be him. And there's a lot of people out there that want to see, and that was a big struggle for me in getting distribution. They wanted gore, they wanted sex. That it's not that kind of film. Mm-hmm. So I'm really lucky that I found Todd Taylor with Indie Pictures. He's a phenomenal individual that recognized the product for what it was. Mm-hmm. It's been an incredible experience working with them.
So I mean, so how are things changed for you now that Alice is out there, and it's out on DVD, and I mean, I've seen on your website a lot of people have seen it and reviewed it. So what kind of feedback have you gotten, and what kind of interest have you gotten as a result of this film?
I've gotten phenomenal feedback. Brooke Lewis with Philly Chick Pictures, she's an amazing actress, and she flipped over it. She wants to work with me, and I've developed a project for her that we're trying to fund right now. Sybil Banning, Roger Corman's Scream Queen,
yes,
from Battle Beyond the Stars.
That's right.
She saw it. She loved it, flipped. She's reading 3 or 4 of my scripts. She actually just finished the sequel to Somebody Loves Alice and loved it. So there's a partner there that I hope she plays. Hart B. Fisher, the comic book publisher, has become an incredible friend of mine, and I've actually signed on to direct his life story.
Wow.
We're going to do a documentary on him, Hart D. Fisher and the Untold Story of Boneyard Press. He's the guy that produced put out the Jeffrey Dahmer comics, the O.J. Simpson comics.
That's right.
And he's just a fascinating individual, and he's got a TV show called American Horrors that airs in 17 countries across Europe and Asia. Scariest man in America, in my opinion. And he has been huge in getting me exposure, because he launched a lot of beginning comic book artists' careers.
Sure.
And he's doing that with me. He's getting me out there. I met Sybil Danning through him. I met Kenneth J. Hall through him. It's been incredible. I've met a lot of people that are impressed with Nobody Loves Alice. Mm-hmm. We'll see if any of it leads to. It all comes down to money in this business, and
sure.
You can get the actors if you have the money. You can get the money if you have the actors. So it's a catch-22, and it's a tough game. But I've got incredible exposure and incredible support.
The film was shot in North Carolina, but now you're out on the West Coast. So you made the bold move to go out there as well.
Absolutely, I did. I'm in L.A. I work in reality TV to pay the bills, because that's where it is. Mm-hmm. Right now there's a lot of business there. It's decent money. It allows me the opportunity to not be on set 12 hours a day in some PA position, to where I can direct other small things and write and build my career. And, I spend 2.5 hours every day online promoting Nobody Loves Alice still. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about. I'm after seeing this movie, I'm really even more glad that you joined our community, because it's great to have filmmakers that are on their way up on there too. And I don't know if you've seen Daniel J. Fox's movie, but he has an interesting little movie there too in Dreamscape. How have you found the community so far? I know that it sounds like you've been looking at people's pages. I see like a lot of interaction that's going on, and I kind of like that. It's one of the things I like about it.
I love it. I love the community on there. I am a huge self-promoter, and I'm not just out there to whore myself around. I am genuine. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of requests from people, kids, 16-year-old kids, and even 25, 30-year-old guys that they don't know how to do it, but they want to do it, and I love talking to them. I'll tell them anything and everything that I know. Not that I'm Steven Spielberg by any means, or have that knowledge, but I love to share with them and let them learn from my mistakes. If they can avoid my mistakes, that's great. Mm-hmm. I love working with other people. I love meeting people. I really am a people person. So mm-hmm. I've made a lot of friends in the community.
That's great. Now, I want to ask you, I would think after this experience, the second film you do, obviously you have now the experience of the first film, and you can just kind of use that and just apply it to the next film. Absolutely.
Yes, I've learned so much from that. I actually have directed a couple short things that have advanced me even further. So I hope that I never stop growing.